All right, welcome back everybody to another episode here. Nicole at Jill's office, and I have Ryan Lee with Light It Up Expo. We're going to talk about everything that has anything to do with the home service workshop coming up really soon next year and why you need to go, what shows are going to be there, and just kind of dive into that. So welcome, Ryan. I'm so excited to have you here and to hear you talk about your show and exactly what everyone can expect from it.
What up? What up? I'm excited to hang out with you, Nicole.
Yeah. And we are both from Utah, which is great. So we're
Let's
on the same
go.
time zone. Is it snowing where you are? Because it's snowing here a
It
lot.
was this morning. I was
Yeah.
excited. I'm hoping the mountains are getting dumped on.
Yeah. Do you do anything in the snow? Are you a
Yeah.
snowboarder?
Yeah. I snowboard and ski. Depends on who I'm going with.
Okay. I've never skied before, but I do like snowboarding. I'm not a pro, but it is fun. And I think too, I mean, I was born and raised in a really tiny island. And so snow is like something we only saw on the TV growing up. And now it's just like, I've been in Utah for so long that it's just, it's normal. You got to kind of do outdoor stuff in the winter to not get like that seasonal depression.
Big time.
There's so many fun things you can do in the snow. And I do love living in a state where we have all the seasons because you can really appreciate, like, spring is actually my favorite season.
Listen, don't sell it too much because then people are going to want to move here. We already have enough people. Utah sucks. Don't come.
It's already happening. I mean, it's really polluted here, you guys.
Yeah, the inversion, and you're going to get depressed. Just come visit. Just come hang out at my house
for a little bit. But yeah, no, I love living here. And the cool thing is that the home service workshop is in Florida, and it's going to be around the time when it's still going to be really cold in those states that have, harsh winters. So it's a great time to go. So to dive in really quick, let's talk about Light It Up Expo. First of all, Ryan, tell us what it's all about and what you're going to cover and, hype us all up about your show.
That's going to be easy to hype you up because I'm so excited about this. And you mentioned Orlando, end of February. That's like perfect. So yeah. I'm actually, and I'm telling people to do this. I'm bringing my family down. So they're going to come down like the last couple. They're going to come down for Light Up Expo Friday and Saturday. And then we're going to hang out at Universal Studios. So we're doing 2 days as a family. They're going to miss a day or so of school, a couple days, but it's going to be epic. Like we're going to go have a family. Like we're going to lock in these core memories, have an awesome time. And I'm combining work. I'm writing off a lot of this, family vacation business trip. We're going to talk a lot of business. So I'm excited about the location. Orlando, the time is perfect. And then Light Up Expo. Okay. So anyone who knows me knows I am a freaking lighting nerd. I love lighting. It changes people's lives. It's transformation. It helps with mental health, everything. It's amazing. So one of the downsides of the lighting industry is no one's ever brought them all together. So when you get into lighting, a lot of people will like start pressure washing, window cleaning, and then they find out about holiday lighting and it solves this like seasonal problem to their business. But then they hire all these people to make so much money doing holiday lighting. And then they're like, wait, I want to keep these epic people, but my business isn't big enough. So then they get into landscape lighting and permanent lighting. Well, the challenge is there's so many different routes to take and different places to go and manufacturers and distributors. And no one's really brought these industries together. So Light It Up Expo is the first of its kind. We're bringing together the landscape lighting industry, the holiday lighting industry, the permanent lighting industry. And we're going to have vendors of all of those, manufacturers, representatives. We're going to have service providers, of course, and marketing and all that. But then what's special is we're going to have breakouts. So if you want to bolt on like permanent lighting to your business, or you want to bolt on landscape lighting, or you want to bolt on holiday lighting, you can attend that breakout and get all the information you need to like hit the ground running and collapse time to help you launch into these industries.
I love that. I love when people refer to collapsing time. Gives me such a huge visual, especially if you've ever been through, if you've ever tried growing a business before and you know how long it takes to get to this step or to get this much progress. Anytime you can do anything to collapse that time, I mean, you save so much money, so much stress. And you can really do that by learning from people in the industries that you're in, the experts, gleaning off of them. So who would you say your show is best for? How would it benefit someone who maybe someone like myself? So I have a residential cleaning business. If I wanted to add on lighting and I don't know anything about it, would this benefit me as well as someone else who has been in it for like 20 years?
Yeah, great question. So I would say this. Number one, that you should, if you don't own a business and you're thinking, should I start a business? I don't know that this is the best for you. If you're like super proactive and you can figure stuff out, yeah, come. But this is really designed for someone who owns an existing business,
Okay.
who's frustrated maybe with like, man, should I like go to another city and copy and paste what I'm doing now? Or should I make a new offer? Should I just sell something new to my existing client base? And if that is you, I don't care what business. I mean, if you're in the home service industry, it could be cleaning. It honestly could. Doesn't really matter. If you're thinking, man, I don't know. Like I hear about permanent lighting. I see it. It seems pretty sexy. I hear about landscape lighting. That's why you should come. And if nothing else, if it gives you clarity on, like, I thought, okay, what's the worst case scenario if someone comes to this? To me, the worst case is like they come to it and you find out about permanent lighting, holiday lighting, and landscape lighting. You're like, you know what? I don't want to do that. That's not for me. It's still an investment. It's still, yeah, it did cost you money, it cost you time, but now you have clarity on, you know what? I'm going to take my cleaning business and I'm going to copy and paste into St. George or, go to another location. To me, that's still valuable. It
Right.
gives you enough information to make an educated decision on what the future of you and your family looks like.
Yes, and we talked about this in some of our previous lives with some of the other shows, that you can get so much valuable information from just going to various types of shows. I mean, you're covering a lot of things in the lighting arena, but the information on how to run a business and how to be profitable and scale that business, you're going to get a lot of that as well. And so, like I had mentioned previously, going to a really good variation of different types of shows really has helped me to understand, like, there are some core pieces that you take away from every single one that can help you be just even more of a well-rounded business owner, I think. And then the amazing part is that you learn so much from the other attendees that are there too. Just networking, building relationships, sharing stories, because I'm sure you know how hard it is to talk to sometimes family members when you're going through a lot in your business, and they don't get it because they don't live it, right? So it's hard for them to understand what you're saying. So
That's a great point. So you mentioned kind of about both ends of the spectrum is like some people who are looking to bolt it on and they're new to something in the lighting industry, but it could be for those pros too. Even people who've been doing holiday lighting for 20 years or landscape lighting for 20 years, their permanent lighting is a new thing. And
mhm,
whether you like it or not, you're going to need to learn about it. If you don't like it and you want to sell against it, then you need to come to the show to learn like what people are learning to sell it so that you can sell against it.
mhm.
There's just so many advantages. And it's harder to, they say it's like, you can't teach an old dog new tricks. And it's kind of true. Like some of the veterans, like they're
Right.
like, I don't know, I don't want to grow. But those people that do show up and are open-minded and vulnerable, they learn so much because you get these young people coming into the industry that are hungry and innovative. They're going to change the world. Like they're going to go fast. They're not okay with just investing 20 years into growing a business. They want results now, and they're starting to think differently, and they're asking the question, what has to be true? What has to be true for me to build this to a $5 million business in the next 5 years? Old guys like me, we didn't ask that question. We were just
Yeah.
like, oh, I'll just work, and if I make money, that's good, and I can feed my family.
Yeah. Well, that is such a huge point to bring out because we've talked before about how just about hiring in general, about the different generations. And because I've worked in HR for a long time previous to this position at Jill's, I was watching what the age groups were that were hireable, and what is our demographic, right? And the youngest generations coming in, the things that they care about are very different than the things that you and I cared about, growing up. And man, that's the generation of my children. They are very much more entrepreneurial minded because they have so much more at their disposal than we did. They can start a business right away. I've seen kids open up their own landscaping, window cleaning businesses, and they are hustlers. And if you are older like us, and you're not staying on top of your learning and you're expanding your knowledge and being really open to new ideas, you will get run over really quickly because this younger generation is on top of it. They want to learn. They have such a hunger for knowledge and they want to make money at the same time, but they also really care about their lives, their work-life balance. They still want to have fun. And so we've got to try to keep that ball rolling, keep that mindset, and always be learning. So
Absolutely. That's the thing. Like when you come to really any expo, I mean, we're talking about home service workshop and Light It Up Expo and $1 million admin, but like we're the things that we teach. So let's say someone has a cleaning business and they come to a breakout and they hear some of the speakers, even if they decide not to get into lighting, landscape lighting, holiday, permanent, whatever, the pricing strategies that I'm going to go over and the sales stuff, you can implement that into any business. It's
Right.
generic, it's general stuff. But I didn't think it was that special. It was just what I used. I'm learning that like people are like, dude, I implemented what you said for free on your podcast and I made an extra $20,000. So we're going to go over those things. We're going to bring in these speakers. These are guys doing millions of dollars a year. So if you're not doing millions of dollars a year, there's something holding you back. Come to the expo, find out what it is. We'll unlock those things for you and break down those barriers, because there's a way. And it's not a secret. There's certain steps that if you follow, they're proven, they're methods, they work. And when you're a lone wolf and on an island, nothing's going to change. Like what got you here is going to get you. It's the same thing, right? But if you really want to level up, you've got to be there.
Yeah, for sure. I've got your link right here as well to home service workshop. You can check out Ryan's show right there. And you talk a lot about the different pillars that you're going to cover. And I think I love the way you have it lined out, because obviously it can be really overwhelming sometimes going to a show, especially something like home service workshops. So we're gonna talk about how to make that, to minimize the overwhelm there, be organized, be very intentional when you come, and to bring your team. What can you share about your show specifically? Because I am curious about the pillars, and I know you want to share save some of this for when you actually have the show, obviously. But what can people expect? Like, what am I going to learn? What can you share?
I don't mind sharing as much as I can. So, a couple things. So, the home service workshop is 4 days, and I think there's 5 shows that are happening at the same time.
I believe so. Yes.
$1 Million Admin Academy is Wednesday, Thursday, and then Light It Up Expo is Friday, Saturday. So what Light It Up Expo is 2 days, and day one we're going to start off with some speakers. I haven't figured out exactly the order yet per se, but I can tell you general, like we're going to have topics on sales. So if you're struggling, and a lot of people go, I don't need help with sales. I'm like, well, if you're not doing millions of dollars a year, you need help with sales.
Right.
So sales for sure, finance and numbers. A lot of people, most business owners, especially even like me, I hate numbers. I hate the finance. Like it's just, I just want to make money, and like, can it just